Hey guys, Alex and Dad from 7th Hour Films back again with Doctor Who. Last time around was the Crimson Horror. What was that one about?
Once again set in, was it Victorian times?
Yeah.
Late 1800s, early 1900s. And there was a space parasite or something that had attached itself to Dame Diana Rigg, slumming in Doctor Who at that point. I'm sorry, that's a horrible thing to say, but I mean, she was a very big star back in the 60s and 70s, both on TV and in movies, but also on Broadway. She did a huge thing on Broadway. And it was, I can't remember exactly what it was doing, but it ended up turning people red, which is how they got the name The Crimson Horror. And the Doctor and Vastra. And
Jenny
and
Strax.
I want to say Drax, but that's Marvel.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so this is like the third or fourth time that they've appeared with the Doctor in the Victorian times. I'm kind of surprised they never got a spin-off of their own either.
Well,
but anyway, they solve all the problems and everything's fine. But Clara returns back to her normal time, where the kids she's the nanny for have found that she's on the internet, and it's anyway. So that was where it left off, with a kind of a cliffhanger.
They've discovered that she's a time traveler, so they want to time travel as well. So,
oh boy, I haven't seen what's coming up, but I'm hoping that doesn't happen, because I realize this is still somewhat geared towards adolescents, but children in time travel always tend to gum things up very, very badly.
well, yeah.
Even more so than the younger companions that he's had, like Susan and what are their names? Victoria and Vicky. Some of the others.
I should also more enunciate that the last episode was called the Crimson Horror. Because I do know that, especially at least for me, when I say it really fast, it does sound like the Crimson Horror, and just like, that's a Torchwood episode in the making. So, so yeah, I just thought I would over enunciate that. I feel like there's like no easy way to say that. It's just like a terrible word, honestly.
Well, again, instead of pronouncing the O the way Americans do, if you pronounce it the way the British do, it comes out as horror. Almost like H-A-W, the Crimson Horror.
Yeah.
But, weird historical fact here. John Knox, who was the leader of the breakaway Presbyterian movement in Scotland, did not at all like Queen Mary. And when she at one point came to one of his masses, and she was dressed in a red gown, he immediately impromptu changed the subject of his sermon to, "You may read of a great whore sitting on a throne dressed in crimson." So literally called the Queen a Crimson Whore.
Now, which Queen Mary was this?
This was the first, Mary the First of Scotland.
Mary Queen of Scots, yes.
Mary Queen of Scots.
Okay, yes.
Not Bloody Mary.
I just wanted to point this out because technically last episode we were talking about, I think it was at the beginning of last episode we were talking about Jack the Ripper, which was not what the episode was about.
No.
And I mentioned that Jack the Ripper is shown in part 1 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I should also point out that there is an entire episode of JoJo, which takes place around the same time, about 1893, but it talks about Mary Queen of Scots and 2 of her loyal knights that were basically fooled by Elizabeth, and then they were resurrected as zombies by the main villain of JoJo in that part.
Oh, okay.
JoJo is weird. Like, I'm just going to put that out. I'm not going to try to, like, sugarcoat it or anything. It is so weird. The first part is a Victorian vampire drama. It takes, like, 3 episodes before they even introduce vampires. So, it's so weird. And then none of the other parts follow that. Like, the next part is 50 years later, and it's during World War II, and there are vampire gods that they have to deal with. You have to team up with the Nazis to beat the vampire gods. Part 3 is its own thing, where the first vampire guy is back, and then they have to go to Egypt because for some reason he's in Egypt, and so they travel from Japan all the way to Egypt to defeat him, and they have magical spirits that can punch things for them. It's a complete 180 from where they were in the first two parts. And then part 4 is like a murder of there's a serial killer in this town in Japan, and they have to figure that out. Part 5 is a mafia story in Italy. Part 6 is a prison. They're in a prison for like a long time in Florida in like 2012, and they're just like going through and punching each other with their magic spirits that punch each other in a prison. And then the author wiped the slate clean, and so we have part 7 now, which is currently kind of airing on Netflix right now, which is it's a race. It's called the Steel Ball Run. It's a race from San Diego to New York in the late 1800s again, and it's about cowboys and spirits that punch each other.
Okay, the people who are producing that must be smoking the good stuff.
And the funny thing is, it is one of the oldest manga that is still running. Like, it started in the 80s, and it is still going to this day. Same author and everything. And, yeah, it's so weird. It's bizarre. At least it's in the title. Yeah. But if anyone wants to check it out, all 7 parts are on Netflix. Technically, the manga, actually, they're currently on part 9, but the anime is only on part 7 right now, and the release schedule for part 7 is a bit wonky. But yeah, so if you're interested in Victorian vampire dramas, World War II vampire gods, a trip across Asia, serial killers, mafia stories, prison breaks that take a long time, or cowboys, I can recommend JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So,
now, a footnote to all of that. For those of you who are British fans, you are probably aware of a British author named Robert Bolt. He is most famous for A Man for All Seasons, but he had another really great historical play called Vivat Regina. It's the story of the rivalry between Queen Elizabeth I and Mary Queen of Scots. As an actor, I have done that show twice. The first time I played William Cecil, who was Lord Burleigh. He was the chief counselor to Queen Elizabeth I. The second time I did it, I got to play Jamie Bothwell, who was Mary Queen of Scots' third husband. It is a great script if you've never seen it. I don't know that there's a movie version of it, or even a film play version of it, but you should get it and read it. It's really, really well done, showing the rivalry between these two women. So,
yeah. None of this has anything to do with today's episode of Doctor Who.
Of course not.
So, I don't know. I just thought I would bring up another connection to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 1. So, and if you do choose to watch JoJo, I do have reactions to every episode that they have put out so far. It's about 190 episodes. If you start from part 1 and go all the way through, and obviously it is still airing. They're currently airing part 7, so it's a lot. Technically, you can also start at part 7, but at some point, I'm going to recommend you go back to part 1 and start from there again. It's kind of like Doctor Who, you know. You can start at like the 11th hour or something like that, but at a point, you're gonna have to go back and start from the beginning and go from there. So, anywho, that's it. Let's get into the episode.
Alright, we're on the moon. Oh no.
Well, here we are. Hedgewick's World, the biggest and best amusement park there will ever be. And we've got a golden ticket. Hey,
not the moon.
Fun. You see? I told you it was amazing. Well, it used to be.
It closed down. Wish I'd known that before I landed here. But let me show you my collection. Come along, follow me. This way in, come on.
He looks a lot like Michael Sheen, but I know it's not.
Well,
Worldwide.
I feel like he plays one of the prime ministers on The Crown.
We defeated them all 1,000 years ago, but now he's back to destroy you. Behold, the enemy.
Of course.
Get down!
Who else would be the Silver Nemesis? Oh, Neil Gaiman.
No.
Oh, no, Artie. No, don't do that. Yeah, that's a fool's mate.
Maybe you can tell me how it works.
Backseat chess player.
They call me Porridge. Oh, it's good to be out of that box. For you, miss.
Yeah. Warwick Davis?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say he was in Willow
Yeah.
and also Star Wars.
Yeah. I think.
He was one of the Ewoks.
How long do we have to stay here?
Not long. Have a nap. I'll wake you when we're ready to leave. Copy.
Say well.
You could at least put them in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Don't wander off. Now, I'm not just saying don't wander off. I mean it. Otherwise, you'll wander off. And the next thing you know, somebody's going to have to start rescuing somebody.
From what?
Nothing. Nobody needs rescuing from anything.
So long as you don't wander off.
Total takings for the day. With one sandwich. Better than no sandwich, of course. Not as good as two sandwiches.
He sounds like a hobbit.
Look up there. That corner of sky, what do you see?
Nothing. It's just black. No stars, no nothing.
Well, it used to be the Tiberian Spiral Galaxy. 1 million star systems, 100 million worlds, 1 billion trillion people. It's not there anymore. No more Tiberian Galaxy. I feel like a monster sometimes.
Why?
Because instead of mourning 1 billion trillion dead people, I just feel sorry for the poor blighter that had to press the button and blow it all up.
Clara!
Hello? I'm bored.
Where's your big sister?
Clara? She's not my sister. She's stupid. She's talking to Porridge.
She talks to her porridge.
Porridge? That little bloke?
We need to have a chat.
Good job. Whatever your name was.
So, tell me about the little bloke.
Well, you must have seen him.
Angie!
She always has to turn up and spoil everything. I wasn't doing anything. Why can't you just leave me alone?
You're in space. These are soldiers. Shut up. Oh god. That's so fast.
Don't let anyone blow up this planet.
Is that something they're likely to do?
Get to somewhere defensible.
Where are you going?
I'm getting Angie, finding Artie, and looking for funny insects. Stay alive. And you lot, no blowing up this planet.
He means it.
Please stand by. You will be upgraded.
Ugh.
More like Borg now than Cybermen.
Oh yeah.
You really saw a Cyberman?
We really did.
Have you reported it to the Imperium?
No communicators.
So you're going to do what she says? Right. Let's all spend the night at Natty Longshoe's comical castle.
I trust the doctor. You think he knows what he's doing? I'm not sure I'd go that far.
Yeah.
The Siberia gets your brains and memories. All of this. When I win, you get out of my head.
1,000 years.
You let the
Blow his
children
brains
go.
out.
And no.
Yeah.
Thing.
You're still running some of that code. Really? That's your secret weapon? Cleaning fluid? No, go!
Yeah. Golden ticket.
Going to the Hall of Mirrors. And one assumes they have a House of Mirrors somewhere in the amusement park.
Probably.
I seem to remember a classic episode doing that.
Maybe. Oh, it took off its head.
I've heard about the Cybermen since I was in my cradle. I'm not afraid of you!
No!
Yeah, I think there's a theory that might be James Corden's son from those Cyberman episodes.
Oh yeah.
It's a little too far in the future, but maybe.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! I'm nice. Please, don't shoot. Hey, Clara, you haven't let them blow up the planet. Good job.
Did you get the kids? Are they all right?
What's going on?
We got the
Bit
kids.
of good news, bad. Well, in other good news, there are a few more repaired and reactivated Cybermen on the way, and the Cyber Planner's installing a patch for the gold thing. No, wait, that isn't good news.
That's
is
good
it?
news for him.
So, he has no better than a 25% chance of winning at this stage in the game. Some very dodgy moves at the beginning.
It's like incredible odds for him.
Fantastic. I'm the Cyber Planner.
Doctor?
Afraid not. I'm working the mouth now. Allons-y. Oh, you should see the state of these neurons. He's had some cowboys in here. 10 complete rejigs.
You aren't the doctor.
No.
Tomb of the Cybermen.
Doctor?
He got what he wanted. He destroyed the trigger. My move.
What do you mean?
Well, we weren't going to use it anyway.
Yikes.
Jeez.
Brilliant.
Upgrade in progress.
Wow, they adapted.
Upgrade in progress.
Oh, dang it.
It gives me mate in 3 moves. How? Oh, come on. Call yourself a chess-playing robot. How? Hey, you figure it out. 3 moves. You want to know what they are? You're lying. No. Move 1. Turn on sonic screwdriver. Move 2. Activate pulsar. Move 3. Amplify pulsar. See ya.
Oh.
Cheating!
He didn't say it would be chess moves.
Just taking advantage of the local resources. Ah, hello. Can somebody untie me, please?
Do you think I'm pretty?
No, you're too short and bossy and your nose is all funny.
Good enough.
Yep, that's him.
What happened to the Cyber Planner?
And transmatters to the stateroom.
Oh, good. Where's the
Nice
TARDIS,
ship.
though?
Bit big. Not blue enough. Listen. There is a large blue box.
Yeah, go get that too.
Ultra 19p.
Clara, will you marry me?
What? She said she heard what he said.
How can you say no to that? When someone asks you if you want to be queen of the universe, you say yes. You watch. One day, I'll be queen of the universe.
A dark day indeed.
Of course.
Thank you for having me. It was very interesting.
My pleasure. Thank you for coming. Now, I've got something for you. It's not from me.
Now the girl
It's
looks
from
very
the
familiar.
TARDIS. Ah! New phone.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Sorry I said this box was stupid.
See you next Wednesday.
Well, a Wednesday, definitely. Next Wednesday, last Wednesday. One of the Wednesdays. Impossible girl. Mystery wrapped in an enigma, squeezed into a skirt that's just a little bit too tight. Let's go home.
Alrighty. I tried looking up the girl. She didn't have a Wikipedia page, so I don't know.
It's just, I mean, this is the younger version of her, but I think as an adult, I've seen her somewhere, but I can't remember where. All right. Interesting. And again, nice to bring back the Cybermen, bringing back, although they have appeared in New Who. They were very big in Classic Who. As I said before, I realized it. Yeah, bringing the kids along always going to be a bad idea. I did not notice that the wax statue looked like porridge.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, you see it before you even meet him.
Yeah.
So you're not looking out for it. So, I believe that within the fandom, this actually has a bit of a different name. It's actually called Shitmare in Silver. So, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's, again, it does give us great clues as to where this is going. I mean, we've, from the beginning with Clara Oswald, the girl in the brain of the Dalek, up through all the rest of it. It's more of the leading up to who is this girl? Why is she across different time periods? Although theoretically they're all on Earth. But yeah, now they've given her a name. She's the impossible girl. She can't exist. And he can't figure out why.
Oh, yeah.
I do like the fact that in the chess game, when he says, I can defeat you in 3 moves, it turns out, like he said, I didn't say there were 3 chess moves, it's just 3 moves, and he does the 3 moves and blows them all up.
Oh, yeah.
It's also very interesting that, unlike the original Cybermen, the original Daleks, when they, now, anytime something happens to them, they immediately begin to process how to upgrade it. Like the one guy who steps into the electrified moat, he starts to fry, but then upgrade in progress almost immediately. That makes them even more difficult to defeat.
Oh, yeah.
Although I like the fact that, yes, buried into the circuits, this is that whole Y2K thing, is that despite all the upgrades that had been made between the 1960s and 1999, there were still codes running that when the clock turned over to apparently 2000, it would think it was 1900 because it had never been upgraded. So somewhere back in there, there's gold, and what was the other one?
Cleaning fluid.
Cleaning fluid. You think we're going to freak me with cleaning fluid? So it's well written. It was funny. It's not going to be up there in the greatest episodes of all time, but it wasn't the worst.
I seem to remember the kids being worse than they were, but the thing is that they're taken out for most of the episode anyway.
Yeah.
And it's mostly just the Doctor is dealing with the cyber planner and Clara is with the soldiers. That's really it. Like the kids, I don't know. It almost feels like they came up with that idea at the end of last episode. Like, oh, maybe the kids can go on an adventure. And then they gave it to Neil Gaiman and he was like, no. I don't want to do that. So he just sort of wrote around them.
Yeah.
And then I know also that this is, I think maybe part of the reason this isn't very fondly regarded is because it is a Neil Gaiman episode and people just expected more. Because the last one he did was The Doctor's Wife. And that's a great episode. Everyone loves that episode.
Yeah.
So I think people were just like, they were expecting more out of this episode. So,
but again, it's interesting to see essentially 2 halves of the Doctor playing against each other. Again, it's not the worst we've ever seen. It's no Warrior's Gate.
Oh,
please, no comments on that.
Well, yeah, that might be the worst one. I'd have to go through like the top 5 worst and see which one's the worst, but not gonna do that right now.
No. Again, it was enjoyable. Again, I like the tension. I like the humor. Interesting that they mentioned the black hole, where had to and was that him that had to do that?
Yeah. So that's. I guess that's the implication, is that he had to, or well, no, I guess he didn't, because they said the Cybermen have been extinct for 1,000 years. So he sympathizes with that because it was probably his predecessor at the time.
Yeah.
So he understands if he had to be put into that position. Yeah. And this is kind of, I guess, sort of foreshadowing for the 50th anniversary of, that's essentially what the Doctor is, which, I mean, we already know that at this point, what we know is that he was the one who destroyed Gallifrey and the Daleks at the end of the Time War. So that is sort of a lead into that, but yeah, it's an interesting little thing there with the Tiberian Galaxy. Honestly, I feel like this is like the only episode where they really bring up this like multi-1,000-year war with the Cybermen that goes across space and everything, and it's just like we never like go back to that. Like I feel like they could get a good number of episodes out of that.
Yeah.
So it's just something that happened back then in the future. And
again, I wonder how many actual Cybermen, actors in in robotic costumes they had, and how much of that was CGI. Because
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the long shot, obviously they did that, but how many of the guys did they actually have to then be able to duplicate them like that?
Yeah. If I were to guess, they probably had like 3 or 4, because there was that close up when they were about to convert them, and so there were about 3 of them there. So,
and again, call back to when they were all coming out, and I said, "Oh, Tomb of the Cybermen." That was the same setup as all the, the Cybermen in the frozen tomb there.
They just need to burst through the plastic and fumble that for 20 seconds before they get out. So,
all right. So again, not my favorite episode of all time. Not the worst.
No.
It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
And again, I like the 2 things I like the most is giving Matt Smith an opportunity to play against himself, and the tie into one of the 2 themes of this entire season. One is, who is the Doctor really, and the other one is, who is Clara.
Yeah, because the cyber planner, he went through a lot, but the Doctor blocked off a lot of his mind from being accessed. So, and then it's always just a good moment when you get to see all of the Doctors, whenever they reference stuff like that. So, so that was good. And I do like, probably the best moment is stumping the cyber planner, because it is just such an interesting thing of like, well, how do you defeat this thing? And it's like, you overload its processor, because you bluff. Because would the Cybermen would they take into account that the Doctor would bluff them? It's like, well, I can win in 3 moves. And they're just like, well, no, you can't. And it's like, well, I can. And it's like, they see the confidence, and it's like, okay, if he can win, then we have to figure that out. So pulling all that local processing power from all the Cybermen that are there is very clever. And then it's just, it's like, well, yeah, he can win it in 3 moves. He just didn't tell you what kind of moves they were.
And honestly, because I've seen that scenario in Star Trek and several other things, what I was expecting is that combining, trying to search his brain and the 1,000 years of memories that he has, plus getting all the Cybermen's computing power into that one unit, that it would blow it up.
Yeah.
But it was nicer that he was bluffing, and he said, I said 3 moves. I didn't say it was going to be 3 chess moves.
Oh, yeah. So
it was clever. Let's just put it that way. I enjoyed it. Looking forward to the name of the Doctor.
Yeah. It does kind of make you wonder why, when they tied him up, they didn't just take one of those gloves and hit him with it. But I guess maybe he had to get the kids released first. Yeah. So I guess that could be it. So, but yeah, honestly, it's good. Good enough episode. Yeah. But yeah, next episode is technically the season finale, and then we have the 50th, and then we have the Christmas special. So technically the season keeps going, but season 7 proper technically ends with the next episode. So yeah, you got anything else?
I got nothing.
Then that is basically it. With all of that being said, we're Alex and Dad from 7th Hour Films, and we will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of our modern Doctor Who reactions, as well as another playlist with every Doctor Who video that's on the channel. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.